Hello, my name is Michelle Bryce, and I'd like to share with you why I decided to go to college at the age of 48. When I was growing up in a very poor home, I didn't think college would ever be in my future. So when I was a young adult, an opportunity came my way for me to work toward a certificate in teaching through a local Christian ministry. And they worked with Pensacola Christian College on something called an external degree program, which I was able to do a 2-year degree and do it while I was working under a master level teacher. And then I just sent my school in through correspondence. And then during the summers, I would have to travel to Pensacola for a summer intensive program. And at the end of the 2 years, I had my certificate. And then the agreement with the school was that they would pay for it if I would continue to work an additional 2 years for them, which I did. But I taught kindergarten for many, many years. My husband and I got married, and a few years later, we decided to become therapeutic foster parents. Most of the children that came into our home were medically fragile. Now we have 5 beautiful children in our home through adoption, through therapeutic foster care, and they are all doing amazing. As of last year, they are all attending school full time. This year, my husband had an opportunity to retire, which meant that he was available to help provide transportation, back and forth to school, to sporting events, and to doctor's appointments. And that freed up my time so that I could pursue something for me. And after thinking about it, I did consider going back to school to get a higher degree for education. The laws have changed now. It actually requires more for you to be able to teach now. But when I thought about it, it's not really what I wanted to do. Even though I'm grateful for the opportunity I had and I enjoyed teaching, it's not what I would have chosen for myself had I been able to choose. So I sat down and I thought about, what am I passionate about? What have I always wanted to know more about, or what have I always wanted to do? And I came to the decision that I have always wanted to know more about American Sign Language. As a young child in church, when I would watch the interpreter interact with our deaf members of our congregation, I was so fascinated by the language, by their culture, by their sense of community, and I wanted to know more. Later on, we were able to actually foster a young man who was 15 years old and is deaf. And he was only a temporary placement for us because the state was looking for a residential program for him in a deaf school, and he was placed out of state. So we had lost contact with him until after he graduated. He contacted us again, and we are still able to have contact with him now. But it's just reignited that passion in me to learn more about ASL. From the time I made the decision to start learning ASL through college to my first class was exactly 2 weeks. So everything happened very, very quickly. So what I wanted to share with you today is this one thing. It is never too late to pursue your dreams.